Hello everyone. So this is a how to use Exploratory series. Today I'd like to introduce Note. So Note is a great way to communicate, like the insights you found from the data by putting together, putting all the charts and analytics along with your comments. So how are you going to create Note? Let's take a look. Okay. So by this time, I created some charts and found useful insights. So now it's time to communicate, whatever the finding that I have made so far. So first, here under the plus button, next to the reports, I can select Note and let's say like a sales report or something like that. And then here is a note editor, or we call it like a simple Markdown editor, because you can use Markdown to format very flexibly. I'll show you how. So here, let's say this is like a sales report, maybe like a Q2, and so on. So here is, I want to make this as a title, and then here's a H button. And this means actually make it header. And this is actually cool. You can actually click on it and then you notice this here used to be just £1. And then that is actually header 1. But if I have add another pound, and that becomes header 2. Same thing, if I add another one, becomes header 3. So this time I like to go with just header 1. And then, maybe this is a sales report, but also we have a dashboard that tracks the progress of the sales activity or something like that, right? Okay, so at this point, what I can do is, let's say, for example, I like to do some highlight this one, like sales activity. Then I can use this B button, which is bold. So if I click on it and add a 2 asterisks at each side, and this makes a bold. Okay, and then now it's saying, hey, here's a dashboard, right? So I want to actually make this as a link. So here is a dashboard that we track the sales progress, right? So this is actually demo data, by the way. So I'm going to use this URL, okay? And then what I want to do is make this as a link. And how can I do that? Well, there's a button, like a URL link button. So I can click on this, and then it's a green highlighted area. This is where you want to have the URL. So I'm going to just copy and paste, right? And then now if I click on run button, what this is going to look like. And here's what it is. So here's a URL link, here's a bold text, and then here's the header formatted title. Okay, so it's pretty much left-hand side, what you see is what you get, kind of, and then right-hand side, the preview area is exactly like what you're getting out of it. Okay, so and another quick thing is what I want to show you very quick is, let's say I use that toolbar icon, right? And then most of the time, this actually works for you. But another way is once you get used to it, and then there's a bunch of keyboard shortcuts. So for example, to make the URL link, you can use a pound key, or command key and a K for Mac. And if you have Windows, you're going to see slightly different variation, because this should be I think a control key or something like that. Okay, so what that means, if I can highlight dashboard, and I'm going to just type, on the keyboard, I type the command K. And it basically does the same thing. So this URL part is highlighted, and I can just paste that, the URL that I copy. Now, basically, you got the same thing. Okay. So here's a very basic of the text. And the other thing you can do is you can insert the image. So I have prepared some image here and saved it on my local. Either way, so if you have the image on the local, you can drag and drop. If you have the image you found in Google, image search, and you can actually copy and then paste it here as well. And then you can even take the screenshot as well. So anyways, I'm going to just drag and drop here, and then I have the image, and if I click on it, and also here it says Command plus R, so I can just type on the Command plus R to run. I mean, the preview, basically. Okay, so looks good. Then here is, hey, I'm not here to just create a note for my personal journey or anything like that. This is exploratory. So let's add, some charts. So you remember, we have created this chart. So I'd like to bring this chart in there. So there is a chart icon right here. click on it. And then what I can do is select the data frame where those charts belong to, right? So here the expected revenue, and then I can click on OK. And then the chart, this is actually the chart pointer, not the chart itself, because the left-hand side, this only, you can have only text. Okay, so everything has to be expressed in a text format. But this shows you how, the sort of like a registry or the registry pass to that chart. So like the data frame and then the chart, this, and then the chart name. Okay, so if I click on run button here, then what I'm going to see is all the text and the chart right here. And then when you mouse over, it's kind of like dynamic, right? So like I can actually interact with this chart. For example, I want to disable the orange and so on. So the right-hand side, the chart is more like kind of interactive mode because I embedded the chart itself instead of like taking a screenshot. Okay, and then now you notice this. So this expected revenue, and then these are mainly coming from this. So it looks like there's a comment that has already been inserted, even like, so I don't even have to type on this. And what's happening is when you go back here, this chart, I have already made a comment. So right hand side, notice this here, the kind of like annotation icon, and then underneath there is the comment. So I can actually override this, for example, if I want it, or like this time I don't. But these comments and also the chart name, by the way, happen to be the same name, like chart tab name. These are automatically inserted in here. Okay, so like when you create chart and then you keep sort of like leaving the comments, and then you can actually take advantage of all the little bit of findings you have done before. Okay, so now here, and then if I like, I can use like a kind of like a separator or split line, and then let's add another chart. Okay, so this time I want to import this chart. Okay, so this chart, and then click run button, right hand side. There's another chart underneath. This one doesn't have the comments, but it has a title, a chart name, and a chart. And it turned out all the bars, but we have the text, text space is only so much that like obviously kind of chart shrink, and then we don't even know like for example what the name of this bar, for example. So what I want to do is I want to change the sort of like a size of the chart area size. So as you notice though, here width and height, and you can change these things. For example, height, I can do full. You can do like normal and full, and width as well. This time, like I'm going to just use height. And then I can click on run button. And then notice this. So this first chart is within the kind of predefined height. The second one is based on this chart. It's using the full size. So now I can see like every single bar which customers are. Okay. So now that looks good. I have the image, I have the text nicely format, and then I have the chart inserted. It's time to publish so that you can share, right, with others. So click on the publish button, and then you can fill in if you like, and I'm going to just publish it. Okay. And once it's published, you see the URL being generated for this particular node. And I can click on this open in browser, green text, to open that node in the web browser. So this is what you can actually share with others, or others will see this node, right? And then like I can click on this dashboard to open the another dashboard page, or left-hand side, you notice like there's the table contents. So this case is a very short report, but imagine like you have like 10 pages or 20 pages report. This table contents is very useful because I can just click on the title and automatically scroll to the particular chart section. And this table content, sometimes you don't need it. If you have only like small, number of the contents, and then you don't want to have like weird stuff left hand side, and then you can go back to the chart node editor, and there's a setting, and this is where you can configure like how you want to show the table contents. Okay. And that's pretty much it. Other thing is, like when you have the and when you have the chart, right? So this is probably reflecting the latest data. But tomorrow or next week or next month, you want to present this as a kind of a latest finding report, right? And in that case, instead of going to every single chart and refresh or anything like that, all you need to do is click on this re-import data. What this is going to do is this is going to re-query from the data. In this case, these charts data are coming from Salesforce. So it takes the data from the Salesforce, whatever the latest data or whatever the condition matches, and then go through the data wrangling, whatever the data wrangling you might have had right here, and then generate a chart. It all automatically takes care of it. Okay, so that's it. So Note is a great way to communicate your findings from data by putting together all your charts along with the comments and maybe like an image and a nicely format text. Because it is so easy to use, we at Exploratory actually use it to produce all our tutorial contents or data analysis related blog posts. So if you haven't used it yet, I strongly recommend you should at least give it a shot. All right, thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe.